I'll play some other here. Okay, I'll do some other technique. I'll just reduce the surge so that started. Okay. So I'll be stimulating flexor digitorum profundus medial part, and this is the medial. Slightly it is on the volar aspect, as I say, and I'll be stimulating. You started to have, yeah. Yeah. As I told you that I am looking for the eyepiece to bend. Yeah, you can see here that the medial two fingers, the eyepiece, the distal eyepiece are actually bending. That means I am at the motor point. Uh, it is difficult to palpate because it's a tendons. All the tendons are actually running around. But if you look at just next to that, your flexor carpi ulnaris, okay, you can actually feel, but again not that as good as my other flexor digitorum superficialis. This is very difficult to actually palpate exactly, but so I am dependent more on the function rather than the palpation, and you can see her eyepiece are actually distal eyepiece are weak. So this is the flexor digitorum profundus medial part. That's what I said, that this is the flexor carpi ulnaris bulk, so there's a 1/3, so I can know that this is the motor point, and my flexor carpi ulnaris finishes, the bulk finishes here, so where it emerges out, that can be the motor point for my flexor digitorum profundus medial portion. Now coming to the next part, this is, now I'm coming for the hand portion. For the hand portion, you can still have the indifferent over the medial epicondyle, or if you want, you can move it to the wrist aspect. Both can be done, but the problem is if this is the shorter circuit, so I will be having selected stimulation of this, but this becomes a longer circuit, then the current actually flows through, then you will have issues of other muscles may work. Generally it doesn't happen in an ulnar nerve stimulation, but in a median nerve stimulation, yes. So it's up to us whether I want to have a short circuit. The length of the circuit should be as short or long. If I don't want to move the electrodes too many times, then better I can keep it over there. Now coming to here is when you are looking at this hypothenar, I'll be stimulating now hypothenar. Hypothenar basically has three muscles. That's your abductor digiti minimi. The abductor digiti minimi is actually from here, that is again from the pisiform to the proximal phalanx of the fifth finger. So when she is going to, can I ask you to spread the little finger, please? Yeah. When she spreads the little finger, remember it doesn't come on the volar aspect like your flexor carpi ulnaris. This is completely on the medial side, and you can see the bulk. Actually, this is the bulk. I can show you. This is the, yeah. Can you please? When I resist her, you can see the bulk. So this is the bulk of the muscle, and the bulk ends here, and from here it becomes a tendon. So from here to here, and I'll be having the motor point here. Yes, please. And remember, don't stimulate on the volar, stimulate on the medial side. Once you get a current, please. You can see I'm having a very minimal actual contraction. I'm not going for a stronger one. Okay, and you can see here. And if I want to confirm, I just drag it down. It is not working as good as the earlier one. I'm dragging back to the same position, and you can see it is actually now working nicely. Yes. And if I move here, it doesn't work again. So that's what I said. Drag a little bit so that you can confirm the motor point. So the motor point of my flexor carpi ulnaris, abductor digiti minimi, is at this point. You can see, and you can palpate the muscle also, and you can see this is a very small muscle. So you can actually see the visible contraction. Now coming to the next part, this is of the hypothenar is flexor digiti minimi and opponens digiti minimi. Both in textbook, both has been given as a same motor point. Yes, the motor points may be close to each other, so they are at the same place, but I can still differentiate whether I am stimulating the flexor digiti minimi or I am stimulating the opponens digiti minimi. That I'll show you how that I can differentiate. The motor point is here. Again, the bulk is from here to here. So the muscle is from here to here, and the bulk is here, both the muscles. So I'll be stimulating here. Yes, so it's the 1/3 and 2/3 junction, or in a small muscle it is in the middle, I would say there. Started here. You can see that the muscles are now working. Okay, so I am just dragging around here and there to find out whether is there any different in motor point. Okay, yeah, so this is the area with the same intensity where I got the beta contraction. Okay, so this is now, how do I know that I am stimulating both or only one muscle is at rest, just please leave it. Okay, don't just be in a relaxed position. At rest, you can see the fifth metacarpal, which is actually in touch with the table. That means that is at rest. Okay, now if I am stimulating, when I am stimulating, you can see now this has actually risen. You can see that there is a rise. It is no more. That this rise is due to the opponens digiti minimi, and the flexor digiti minimi is the work to bring the flexion of your little finger. Okay, you can see that it is happening both. That's why I said the motor point are same, but am I stimulating, though the motor point are same, but I can still differentiate by the action. I can differentiate that which muscle is working. So if I here the flexion is taking place, so the flexor digiti minimi, and when the metacarpal rises from the ground, that means I know that I'm working with I'm stimulating the opponens digiti minimi. Can you make a fist, please? Okay, now you can see when she makes a fist, you can see an arch. So this is the metacarpal arch. This metacarpal arch is possible when your opponens digiti minimi is working and bringing the little finger down. If it is not working, then it will look like a flat one like this. That means you can say that the opponens digiti minimi is not working. So when an opponent digiti minimi works, then it brings the metacarpal arch. The same way, when I stimulate here, the working of opponens digiti minimi actually tries to make the arch. When it tries to make the arch, it lifts the fifth metacarpal from the ground to here. So that's how I can differentiate. If it is, I get only this, I am working with only with the flexor digiti minimi. If I get this plus this, then I am getting the stimulation of both. The motor point is same for both the muscles, but I can differentiate that which one that I am stimulating. So this is for the hypothenar. So abductor digiti minimi is here. Flexor and opponens digiti minimi is here on the palm, the thenar eminence, but at the palmar side. Then I will be stimulating the lumbricals. Lumbricals can be stimulated both in group or can be stimulated medial fibers alone. If I want to stimulate only the medial fibers alone, then I can place my electrode here. You can see the crease. Okay, so I'll be placing it just over the crease. And the function of lumbricals is the flexion of MCP and the extension of eyepiece. So I'll be looking for that. Once you get a estimation. Yeah, you can see.